Hi, I'm Gerald, and I am a Star Wars fanatic. Ahsoka Tano, one of the most beloved characters to come out of the later half of the Star Wars saga. She's my favorite light side user. She was introduced during the Clone Wars as the snippy Padawan learner to Anakin Skywalker. At the time, she annoyed many fans. Ahsoka's actress, Ashley Eckstein, and Ahsoka's creator, Dave Filoni, urged us to put up with her and see what her future holds. So we did. Now, I urge you to stick around to see how Ahsoka Tano mirrors not only herself and our own real world. But before we get into the meat of it, here's a short word from our sponsor, me. I'm working on making this the most positive and insightful Star Wars channel this side of the Lucasfilm Story Group. I have 43 years of Star Wars analysis under my belt and can offer you a safe place to enjoy the saga. In order to have a complete understanding of the deeper meaning to Star Wars, you will need the information I am giving. So, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's free, and you get the pleasure of learning everything I know. Again, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. It's the only way to get all the skills to analyze Star Wars you will ever need. And watch till the end of the video to see how you could win this. Thank you for sticking through my shameless plug. Now, let's get back to it. One thing I love about Star Wars is the depth of the characters, the complexity of how they are written, and how each of us can see them as something different. An animated character such as Ahsoka is no different. Ahsoka Tano, in the beginning, was annoying to most fans, including myself. She was arrogant and very sassy. I thought, okay, why is she here and how do we get rid of her? However, over the seasons, I grew to adore her. She proved to be more of a Jedi than a lot of the Jedi on the Council. Did she make mistakes? Of course, but we will get into that in the next video. Let's go ahead and set the stage. The Battle of Christophsis rages on. The Grand Army of the Republic is getting beaten, but finally gets a lull in the action, which allows for a break in the blockade that's surrounding them, allowing support with more troop reinforcements and supplies to get through. The troop carriers land, and from one of the troop carriers exits 14-year-old Ahsoka Tano. She is to be the Padawan learner to Anakin Skywalker, much to his dismay. Fast forward through the Clone Wars and to the ending days of the Galactic Civil War, 27 years later. Sabine Wren recollects her friend Ezra Bridger and decides she must set off to find him in the unknown regions, and from a transport exits 41-year-old Ahsoka Tano. She will be joining Sabine. This is the last time we see her in an animated capacity. Yes, you know all of this. Let's dig a little deeper into the significance of it. We first see Ahsoka exit a transport at 14 years old. We last see Ahsoka exit a transport at 41 years old. First, we'll put these numbers together. 14, 41. It's a palindrome, the same forward and backward, but we'll come back to that in a bit. So the numbers 14 and 41. Let's relate those numbers to events in our own real world. Ahsoka shows up during the beginning of the Clone Wars, or near the beginning of the Clone Wars, at 14. Let's turn that into a year that can relate to us. The 20th century is the last one that held the years 14 and 41. So in 1914, Archduke Ferdinand is assassinated and World War I began, a major war engulfing the planet. The Clone Wars, a war engulfing the entire galaxy in Star Wars, which Ahsoka joined near the beginning of, is comparable, and she joined at 14 years old. 1914, 14 years old. We last see Ahsoka animated at 41 years old during the final stages of the Galactic Civil War against the Empire. In 1941, the United States enters World War II. Does this mark the end of World War II? I'm not going to be one of those arrogant Americans and say yes, but it did increase the Western Front and caused Germany to lose the Eastern Front to Russia. That was after the Japanese Empire bombed Pearl Harbor. So yes, it marked the decline of World War II and was the first stage of the end of the war. So at 41, Ahsoka shows up after the Battle of Endor, and in 1941, the United States shows up after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. No, I'm not saying Ahsoka is the United States. The United States was not even involved in World War I officially until 1917. Stay with me. I'll get to the point, and it will definitely be worth the wait. Okay, back to it. Ahsoka shows up at the beginning of one war and the end of the next. 14 and 41 were her ages. 1914, World War I, and 1941, World War II. The Clone Wars was like World War I, and the Galactic Civil War was like World War II. Okay, I said I would get back to her age being a palindrome. When Ahsoka was 14, she arrived as a snippy youngling, Padawan learner. She was assigned to Anakin Skywalker, and she was to become a Jedi under his tutelage. Young Ahsoka was hard-headed, stubborn, opinionated, arrogant, and hard to reason with. I told you I thought she was annoying. She was inexperienced, but ready to join a fight hands-on. She made a great Jedi as her teaching went forward, especially since she was much like her master, Anakin Skywalker. They fought side by side in many battles, and she learned her place through her mistakes and victories. That is, until she was betrayed by one of her own. The entire Jedi Council resigned her as a criminal after she was set up, and she left the Jedi Order after she was cleared of the murder and conspiracy charges. Now, at 41, Ahsoka arrives in Star Wars Rebels. She is a covert operative known only as Fulcrum. Mostly, this was to hide her identity as a Force sensitive, as Force sensitives were being hunted down and killed. When we discover Fulcrum is Ahsoka, she is wise, humble, level-headed, open-minded, empathetic, and mature. Maybe this can be contributed to her age, experience, and growth in the Force. Later in the show, she encounters a dark Sith Lord, the Sith Lord hunting the Jedi, a Sith Lord she knows to be her former master, Anakin Skywalker. However, Anakin is gone, and all that is left is Darth Vader. They face off in lightsaber combat, and both fight fiercely. No spoilers, go watch how it ends. Now let's talk about her military mentor, Captain Rex of the 501st, another fan favorite. He was tasked with guiding Ahsoka through the military processes when she arrived at 14. She was shown around to the troops and tried outranking Rex right away. He was hesitant to call her commander due to her lack of experience. He even says, in my book, experience outranks everything. At 41, Ahsoka sought Captain Rex from retirement. When they were reunited, it was a sweet moment full of hugs and cheering from me. Yeah, I probably hugged myself when I saw it. The last time they spoke in Rebels, he says, "You know, I could order you." To which she responds, "You don't exactly outrank me." Then Rex replies, "In my book, experience outranks everything." Her comeback was, "Then I definitely outrank you." Her interactions with Rex are an example of mirror imaging of each other. She was feisty in the beginning and in the end, but in the end, his respect for Ahsoka had grown tremendously. But what does this have to do with her ages being palindromes? Everything. 14, 41. When Ahsoka was 14, she was young and immature in everything, but she was a Jedi, even if just a Padawan. When Ahsoka was 41, she was older, wiser, stronger with the Force. However, she was not a Jedi anymore, and even proclaims it to Darth Vader. 14, Jedi. 41, not a Jedi. 14, arrogant. 41, humble. Also, when she was 14, she was joining the war. When she was 41, she was leaving the war. These are all mirror images and traits of each other. Even the markings on her face are mirror images. At 14, she was a learner. At 41, she was a teacher. She taught Ezra and Kanan, even if in limited numbers, but it was almost as much as Yoda instructed Obi-Wan Kenobi. 14, Anakin was her master. 41, Anakin's alter ego was her enemy. Ahsoka's entire existence in Star Wars, so far, has been a mirror image of itself, forward and backward. Not to mention the coincidence of her ages converted to years and events in our own history. Is it all coincidence? Maybe. Possibly. But is it a possibility that this theory could be onto something? Stranger things have happened, but I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. A lot of these theories has made me even more solidified in how much I like Ahsoka Tano as a character. But your thoughts mean so much more to me, even if you don't fully agree with me. Well, that's my simple theory. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel to learn more about the deeper meanings of Star Wars. Turn on that notification bell because you are going to want to see the content as it releases. Share the video as well so we can make this the top Star Wars channel on YouTube. Also, when I reach 1,000 subscribers, I will be giving away this 6-inch Hasbro Black Series AT-AT pilot figure to one subscriber at random. Thank you for watching, good luck, and may the Force be with you always.